this iPhone X. This shit don't ring, I don't get no tell. Let me fly. I'm paying my dues and stay true to the code. These niggas wanna know me, but they don't got what it takes to be my homie. Women can't hold me, oh really they can't hold me down. They want me to act a certain way and I can't do that now. I'ma treat you like a queen, but you gotta let me fly. I'm trying to be that guy in my own way. Let me do my thing, don't try to change me. If it ain't changed for the better, if it ain't shaky and stormy weather, then we can't be together. I don't fuck with you, nothing about you is nothing new. Doing the shit you used to do, staying the same. I'm not in love with you, being around you's uncomfortable. I had enough of you, time for a change.
You want an actual vinyl?
Yeah.
So the prices that I got, so just for the cover, it was like $12. For the actual vinyl itself, it was like $119.
It's just for one.
Just for one. If you buy it in bulk, it's cheaper, of course.
So would the price drop down like to 80s, 70s, 60s, 90s?
Like I think for a 300, it was like 65 each.
Okay, that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's like 65 each. But they're hoping, of course, you make that back with. I don't really know how sales. I mean, I don't really know how vinyl sales work. I was like, I don't know the people that buy it. And how would you make money back if you spent $65 on it?
A rarity. How you make that money back?
You can sell limited edition for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the limited edition part. But then, like, when you really look at it, all right, let's say you make a really great album.
Right.
And you basically buy 30, 40 copies yourself for your own. But there are only 30, 40 copies that are out there. You can easily place them up for sale and say, on Amazon, say, there's only 40. You say you got 40, but
It's only one left.
let's say it's only 20 left, and you hold back on the other 20. You sell those 20 at a higher rate. So when those other 20 disappear, you wait a month and then put the other 20 up on there like, hey, only 20 left again.
Then you bring it even higher.
Yeah.
Kind of have it like Supreme, I'll say. That's how Supreme business model is. I didn't even think of that.
To basically hold something back, but still have it. Where's this picture of?
That is, TV Island in Savannah. I took that myself. You want to see the cover for the next one?
Yeah. Then you got yourself on the back with a do-rag on. Look, you know what it kind of remind me of?
What?
Not D'Angelo in a way, but it kind of reminds me of like them when album covers from the 70s and the 80s were actually creative.
I'm trying, my friend.
People put more back then. People put like more emphasis on their album cover just as much as their music back then. Like people put emphasis on a social media post now or a status. Man, niggas used to ask you like, nah, my album cover got to be the shit.
The reason I took that picture and decided that to be the cover, that was the place I was at when I was like, man, I know how to make an album. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't really have, I was stressed out about, actually having a photographer and shit. Now I don't pay them. Like, this is the second one. This is for the lab. That's AI generated. I paid $0 for that.
Artificial intelligence is coming up
And
nowadays.
that's the back. And no, that's not the back. That's the back. It's gonna have the track list on that side and the features on that side.
I like this. I like this, right? Remind me like you're walking towards a Kanye West Sunday school service.
If you notice that the person is closer, that's the lab. This is the experiment. This is me experimenting with music. That's the lab. And the next one, when the third album is gonna be called Mad Genius, it's gonna be me facing it with my, laboratory stuff. But yeah, man, that's the place that I was at when I decided I can make an album. And this is just where I like to be in real life. I like to be in nature. I like people to understand that when I'm in my laboratory, it doesn't necessarily mean that I can make a music anywhere. I can do it as long as my laptop or phone is there, basically.
Nature is a big key of it. I feel like we as a people got disassociated away from nature after a while.
Yeah,
And
man.
I mean, Rand, this is Nashville. It's a big city, but if we actually want to see some nature, we really got to go at least about 30, 40 miles away.
Yeah, I mean, nature without any major buildings or highways for sure, because Nashville's starting to get bigger. But I don't know. I say you gotta really find your own little if you me, I've done a lot of DoorDash, Uber, things that allow me to explore the city. So I just whenever I find some place that I know like it's just like real peaceful, real beautiful, put it in my maps because I need to go back because it's always just nice to have your own little pocket in Nashville that and don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Like if you find anything, just don't tell nobody.
I know a few spots like that here in Nashville.
Keep it to yourself. Don't even tell me. I'll find it. Just don't tell nobody. Too many folks are coming here.
Man, we got a couple of creeks that we go to, man. Like in the summertime, it's the creeks that you pull off the highway, and there's a little path down there, and you can spend hours down there just chilling, skipping rocks.
And don't see nobody, and just be free.
And because I got certain friends. Certain friends will come up with ideas. They say, hey, we're gonna do nature day today. We're gonna actually do climbing today, or river today, or just different elements of nature. And like everybody, come on. And it's one of them type of things that it kind of connects you better because you start getting around these elements. Look, there's no phone. By the time you get into these type of elements, the cell phone service is gone.
And when you're around good people, even if you have it, the phone is really just there for music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not texting nobody back.
Nah, you're not. And I mean, that's what let's be honest, with our phones, that's something that, as a people, we normally do when we get bored in a social event. Like, that's that. I mean, I do it myself, and I won't put the blame on nobody. I know I do it myself. I could be at a social event and be bored, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my phone and find something to do.
That is,
it's a nature.
So true.
It's a human nature habit,
but
no one admits to though.
It's just because now that we have it now, like I wasn't born before phones. I've always had phones. I was born before smartphones though.
Yeah,
so like,
it's a difference. Oh my God,
it was a difference.
And you remember the first thing? You remember?
I wanted a Razor so bad. That's what I wanted, or I wanted one of them little they flip to the side. I don't know. But they were
sidekick.
Sidekick. I wanted one of them.
The sidekick did really look cool, like he just did a man. I wish the sidekick did more than what it actually did though back then.
They just didn't see the vision because BlackBerry came in, and BlackBerry was basically.
T-Mobile had the sidekick going for a while too.
It did. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's because we have this thing now. Like most phones, if they had any games back then, it was like Tetris.
Imagine the sidekick worked like an iPhone back then.
Crazy. You feel me? It'd be insane. But just now that everybody has something they can just duck off away to and just escape and have something to fully put their attention on.
I need a time machine so I can create a parallel universe where sidekicks have iPhone technology.
I feel like that would be dope though. Well, you seen the flip phones, the Android flip phones?
Oh, my brother.
Those are tough. Those are tough. I'm not even gonna lie.
They are. But what happens when you crack the screen?
There's so many screens. That's the question.
Look, the screen folds out like this, and you're sitting there looking at, and it's really like a mini tablet because at some point you got your emails pulled up. I feel like it's like I feel like that probably would have been BlackBerry's vision a long time ago if they could have ever got away from that ugly ass keyboard.
You remember the Palm Pilot?
Yeah.
That's what that kind of reminds me of. Those flip. There's like because they have the stylus with it and stuff. Yeah. But it's cool. I was at a concert. I was at the Monica concert the other day, and I saw a lady that had that thing. And I don't know why she didn't record it like this, right? She opened the flip and then recorded it like this, so you can like see the whole screen on her screen. I'm like, damn, camera quality is great. Like you can see it from like rows back too. I'm way behind her. The screen is huge, and I was like, okay, I see y'all definitely have better camera quality than the iPhones do. That's for sure. They got that going for them.
Well, iPhones, most iPhone users will say this. We like iPhones because they're iPhones. But the truth is, we only use iPhones because we're stuck using iCloud. And iCloud holds all our phone numbers and our data.
That is so true. I like iCloud. I can put all my songs on here and I can see them on my iMac and
we're not. It's not the fact that we're in love with the technology they gave us
not
for the phone. I still got like an XR or something Max.
I have an 11. Max. I have an 11.
It's like a 10 or 11, one of them. But will I go to a 12? Hell no.
And it was crazy like that. The platform, the seamlessness on iCloud. It's just once you get it down, you're so simple. It's like yeah, I'll just airdrop it to you. And the Android is like, huh?
Yeah,
And like I can text it to you. I'm like, I don't want. We can just airdrop it, save us both some data. You know.
that's crazy. I started off. I think one of my first smartphones was the HTC.
I had the first Galaxy.
HTCs and Galaxies back then were pretty awesome
Mm-hmm.
for cutting edge. HTCs actually gave users was like I feel like it was one of the most unlocked phones of all time.
Remember when they like jailbreaking phones was like super popular? Speaking of unlocked phones,
Yeah,
worst mistake I ever did.
I wouldn't jailbreak a phone to save my life nowadays.
No. I had like an iPhone.
Apple get mad when you don't want to update to their newest firmware software
You know they got sued for that, right?
for making people update.
Yeah, they were found intentionally slowing down older phones
Of
so
course,
that people would buy newer phones
Of
or
course.
upgrade or update.
of course. I go 6 months without an update.
Oh me, I'll just be waiting.
I'm like, what's the update for? Oh, you can see your maps a little bit clearer. I'm like, for real?
I'll wait.
I use a different app anyway. I'm
You
like,
use Waze? You
Yeah.
use Waze? That's the bomb, bro.
yeah, I admit, I use Waze only because I use Tidal, and I don't. I have an Apple phone, but don't even use Apple Music.
I mean, it's not. I mean, to each his own. To be honest, like Apple Music is not even that dope. I just use Apple Music because it's in my Apple bundle. See what I'm saying? It's just the seamlessness.
I use Tidal because it comes with my phone bill.
It's the
for free.
seamlessness. See, when you find something that works for you, just do it. Just do it.
It does. That's probably about the best thing to do.
And for all my Android people, like we don't hate y'all. It's just we're stuck in our ways and you're stuck in yours. It's just that I can access my iCloud on 3 different devices. That's what I need.
Yeah, it usually works. It works seamlessly.
That's just what I need.
Because even when it comes to using MacBooks and gaming PCs, a gaming PC is probably the best thing I'm gonna find that works close to a MacBook.
Yeah.
But even then, I still gotta have to run through the issues of a Windows operating system being fragile.
I don't like Windows. I've gotten too used to Safari and Apple Notes, and I don't know. I love Apple products. I had the same MacBook for like 10 years.
Lenovo, it's a few Windows PCs out there that can actually rival with a MacBook Pro, but it's almost like it's the high end Lenovo ThinkPads, and it's your more high end PCs that are just as expensive as a MacBook Pro, but I keep using a MacBook because I don't know, the feel of it is I barely have to touch it.
Yeah.
I barely have to tap it. I don't have to slam the keys. I don't have to do none of that.
It's very comfortable. And also like you know a lot of the shortcuts in the MacBook.
Yeah.
Once you learn them shortcuts, you can't go back. I open up stuff without barely even using a mouse. I just shortcut. I don't really know any Windows shortcuts. I don't really have any. I don't know.
Control Alt Delete.
That's all I know is that.
Control Alt Delete. That's
Control S.
yeah.
Control S.
Yeah, I mean, because with the Mac, like I say, I'm in Pro Tools with a Mac. I know my functions to where I know what I need to hit to actually make the song export. Even in Final Cut Pro when I break down footage, Final Cut Pro is set up to a point where it's like you can't close it out. Well, you can close it out, but it doesn't really. There is no save button. It automatically saves on its own.
Okay.
And then say I want to export like a file of footage or something. It's harder to find it through the menu than it is, but it's
Through the
easier.
actual app.
But it's easier to hit the actual shortcut to make it export. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Finder menu,
Yeah.
that's difficult to use. Like I use iCloud Drive, and every week I gotta really go through the Finder because if you say something in the wrong thing, you may never find it.
Yeah.
You may never find it. Like
One thing Final Cut does, it will take, say, everything we record in our media, I can drag it over there. It will make 2 copies of it. And it will take up a whole lot of data on your hard drive. So by nature, you have to go in there and, like, it's a certain process you do where you have to delete all that extra media stuff that it created.
every time, that's a lot of work. That's a lot. I've never used Final Cut though, but that's a lot of work. That's like file storage, man, is so important. Like, so I balance like the music stuff, and then I do the school stuff, and that's a whole lot of files there. And then financial aid and whatever extra stuff that I do, like volunteering, whatever I do, you lose anything in Apple, like you may never find it. In the search bar, like when you actually like you look in the Finder, it has a search bar. Sometimes it don't
pop up.
Like I don't know why. You know it's in the Finder.
Man, a lot of times I mistype my shit, and I put it. For some reason, actually a dot will pop up after the word, and I have to go back and retype it. But it's weird how Apple is picky about how the stuff is found, to where you got to type it exact how that file name is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the search bar is not as reliable. What's it called? Predictive text. They don't have that. No, if you don't say exactly what you mean, it's not gonna find it. And let's say like in capitalization too is what I know. Is like if like one single letter is capitalized and you don't type in that capitalized letter, it ain't coming up.
I know. I imagine the time you must have running with this while you had to do essays and all that stuff for college.
Yeah, but it's just like I say, like I'm so in deep now into the system. Like I know after failing and losing assignments and losing files, and then Googling all the solutions. Yeah, I know what to expect from this computer inside and out.
I'm glad they came out. I'm glad Google. Google is one of the search engines that, for some reason, it didn't go nowhere because it kept being, what's it called? It kept being a necessity to us.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody else, when Google said, all right, we got a search engine, everybody else, Bing and everybody else came up their own search engine and said, we can do the same thing. Google goes one step farther and says, all right, we'll translate for you. Matter of fact, we're not done yet. Google just kept adding more stuff to the resume.
But if you think about
a household name,
if you think about it, it's pretty simple. So Google, before Bing came out, Google had already been running things for like 5, 6, 7 years, right?
Yeah.
They already had so much data from them 7 years in different languages, in different parts of the country. You feel me? So when they were like, of course, that was if they had stayed a search engine, they would have never went nowhere. They're like, bro, we got all this data. We just
Despite
gonna provide
how much, man?
We're just gonna provide pop-ups and results. Like, no, we can translate this for you. We have 5,000 users that use Japanese. All we gotta do is transcribe this, and we got a translation app. Then they started doing maps. People always searching up where things are. We got all these data from all these different businesses putting on there. Now we got Google Maps. They just like data. It rules everything. Data rules the world.
It is. I feel like they invested into servers and places for the data to sit. And once they had the places for the data to sit, it was no losing after that point, because all they were expected to do store data.
You know why people go to Silicon Valley a lot for technological projects? The weather is pretty consistent. So when you have servers, of course, you don't want servers to get hit by a hurricane. You don't want servers to get hit by a tornado, because when that thing happens, you got to back everything up, and you need a backup that's just as big as your servers.
You do.
So
even bigger.
So you want a place that's pretty. A lot of people come to Nashville for the same reason. Nashville doesn't really get hit by floods, and when it did, it was pretty much Opry Mills, because they're right by the river.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start a server at Opry Mills. Shit.
There's not a lot of tornadoes. You don't get a lot of earthquakes. It's a good place for people to start putting physical locations of servers. Yeah. So you have a lot of headquarters that are here. Like, for example, Aramark headquarters are here, and Aramark runs the food service industry of the world pretty much on all college campuses. But
whether it's a fork, a T-shirt, a tray, a plate,
it's out there, and it's probably made by Aramark. It's probably by Aramark. Yeah. But that's why a lot of people go to Silicon Valley. That's why there's not a lot of. That's why Florida's more of a tourist destination. There's no technological advances in Florida. It's not happening. They keep getting hit by stuff.
Yeah, Florida's like either retire. I don't know. It's one of them retirement states to where, all right, you go down there, you get your money, and you want to play shuffleboard and relax.
You just want to do fun stuff. But the thing is, I wouldn't even move there. I'd probably move somewhere like, anywhere along the coast gets hit by mad weather, like crazy weather.
That's why it makes you think when people buy them vacation homes along the coast, And it's like, do they cross their fingers and wait for a natural storm to hit?
They got that insurance. They
collect
got that insurance.
No, you got that. Let me cross my fingers. And if hurricane, whoever comes through, all right, it's protected. It's got insurance on it. We only visit it once every 3 years. So we're probably going to win anyway.
Yeah. We don't have to really maintain it. We can keep the electric off and the water off until we get back.
That and what's called, because that Airbnbs was part of the main reason people were doing that. And a lot of my friends are actually selling their condos and stuff that were Airbnbs now.
Why is that? Is the housing crisis and stuff?
The Airbnb market is oversaturated.
Well, everybody's doing it. People will have a 2-bedroom apartment, and Airbnb that thing. I'm not knocking the hustle, but I'll pay $80 to sleep in an apartment. I don't need that if I'm traveling through.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? I don't need that much.
As you notice, the price of Airbnbs have dropped.
I haven't been traveling, so no, I didn't notice.
They have dropped where they have to be more competitive now.
Mm-hmm.
We was taking a trip down to Atlanta for the BT Awards. I didn't go, but I was really looking into going, and so I'm looking at the prices of Airbnbs were cheaper than staying at an actual hotel. Say if a group of you or 3 or 4 people went, we would be cramped up in that hotel room
for a much more expensive price.
Yeah, but for the Airbnb, one person with decent credit, everybody puts in. If they got 4 people, everybody puts in. You could basically rent that place for 2 days, and have a whole party, whatever you want to do. Not even like a major party, but just for you and your friends.
And have space for it.
Yeah,
You got a kitchen. You got multiple bathrooms.
You don't have to worry about no one coming and shutting you down enough and just saying, "Hey, y'all making too much noise." It's like it's really chill like that to where it's cheaper.
It definitely is. That's why I always say, like, if not that, whenever I travel, I stay at like extended stays. I just need a kitchen. If I
Extended stays are nice though.
They're underrated. I don't understand people don't like them. Like they're always like, I want to stay in the. I'm like, man, look, we're not rich. We came here to do the festivities and the activities. You know what I'm saying? We are not rich. So if we're just gonna travel the whole time, we barely gonna be in this hotel.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Extended stays are like the luxury version of a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like getting a suite without paying the suite price.
You buy your own groceries. You don't have to rely on takeout. If you want to take out, cool. But if people don't realize when you go, like you still have to eat 3 meals a day when you go on a vacation. And if you don't have a kitchen, you are eating out every meal.
It's expensive.
You're eating out every meal.
It's expensive.
And I'm only 23, and I learned that shit quickly. I was like, this is a scam. I'm tired. I can't even
go on vacation, learn everything's more expensive. You don't know really where the real places are. The way, let's say that it's a difference between when you're in your city's Nashville.
Yeah.
I know right now I can go get a good plate for $11 or $12.
For sure.
I know where I can go get a whole plate of tamales for $5.
For sure.
So you go out
and not no small plate. A plate.
Like it's actual real food that they don't really cook and took their time with.
Mm-hmm.
But you go out of town, soon as $11 might get you. You don't know where to go, so $11 gonna get you barely anything.
An appetizer.
Yeah,
Appetizer.
And let's be honest, it's not the fact that you don't know where to go to eat. It's part of the reason, but it's you, the group of friends. One person says,
"That's not that much.
Let's go here. They got good wings there." Get there. Yeah, they might got good wings, but everything on the menu high as hell.
Exactly, but you here now. It's like
you got no choice.
I used to travel a lot with friends. I travel a lot, so more just by myself. Like recently, I went to Louisville for Castle Festival, so I saw Tyler the Creator there.
Oh, that'd be dope,
dude. It was.
That had to be dope. Tyler Creator. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of Tyler Creator in the world, but I do respect his creativity.
His show was crazy.
And his, the show performance.
Crazy.
He's always had that type of energy to where it's like, where the hell did he get that from?
And then because it was a whole festival, I saw Maxo Cream, I saw Earl Sweatshirt, I saw Wale.
Oh yeah, Wale does good performances.
Wale was dope. It was dope. I saw a lot of different pop artists that I never heard about, some cool DJs and whatnot. But I was by myself, and that wasn't my first time traveling by myself. But I said to say, just like the process is easier when you either go by yourself or you have somebody that's like-minded like you got to really have a conversation on vacation. Like, look, bruh, what is your budget? And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to be all up in your pockets, brother.
It's honest. But it's honesty though.
Yeah, just like, because you may have 800 and I may have 600, and that's not a big difference. When my pockets start getting down to like $300, I got to start chilling out. You feel me? That's just how it is.
Well, as a friend, I'll say that as a friend, I look at my friends and I know if I make more money than them, and I know if I have more money saved than them, it's not a secret. It's based on how we live and
But your
what
friends.
we have. It shouldn't be something that as friend, if you're really my friend, it's something like I shouldn't have to hide from you. You should hide from me, because at the end of the day, I'm like, expectations we put on people have to be realistic in life.
Indeed.
The second we start putting unrealistic expectations on people is the second our feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
And how do you prevent your feelings from being hurt? Put real expectations on people. Such and such doesn't know how to save money.
Mm-mm.
So you tell such and such, man, I know you don't know how to save money. But what you can do so you can have some money for this trip is, I need you to put $40 into here every week until we get there.
That's it. And they're like,
And I'll help you get there.
It's just $40. Be like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna put it right here. You feel me?
Yeah.
You can't touch it, but I want you to come.
Yeah.
But also realistic expectations, like, you can only trust certain people with certain tasks.
Yeah.
And it's not being mean. It's just the extent of their abilities. So you be like, look, man, I know you can't go on this trip, and you're probably not gonna be able to drive for 3 or 4 hours. What I need you to do. So when we get there, you feel me? I need you to put a little bit more, because I had a car. I need you to put a little bit more on a grocery bit. You feel me?
Yeah.
You're not really driving, you ain't got a license, but pay for the groceries. You feel me? It's just
The realer expectations we have of ourselves and our friends, I think the better relationships we can have in life.
it's hard when you're young and you're doing that, because like I'm the youngest person in my friend group, and I'm not trying to be like pretentious, but like I feel like I have a pretty good understanding and wisdom so far for my age. Gonna put that last line in there. For my age.
Yeah. It does make a difference when you say for the age.
For my age, I'm only 23, but I have a lot of friends who are 25, 26, 27, getting older than me. I have friends younger than me, of course, but it's just I've usually been the youngest friend in the group. And it's hard to do that because people believe that you should have unrealistic expectations for people, because they're like, well, if you believe in me, you think that I can do it. I'm like, well, I have believed that you could do it before, and you didn't multiple times. So now it may be a small task, but you've shown me that you're not going to do it. So it's obviously not a small task to you. You know what I'm saying? So now I have to change my expectations and be more realistic. And they think that you're shading them, and you're being aggressive, or you're moving in a way that's offensive to them, and you're not. You're like, look, man,
No.
I need this to get done regardless.
It's offensive if I have to keep asking you to do it.
Thank you.
But if you want to still be my friend, I'm gonna tell you, like, look, I don't expect this of you. It's okay. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Matter of fact, take that pressure off yourself and relax.
Yeah, man, because we're friends. We can just hang out.
Yeah.
You feel me? We can just, I like you. If you were not to do this for me, I'm showing you that I do, because I'm still hanging out with you.
But this same type of thing exists even beyond going on trips. Let's say you're friends and you're just doing something nice in the city.
Facts.
Someone can't afford to go to that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I can't shake them because I'm gonna give you a real raw instance.
Okay.
You got ramen noodles.
Feel that?
You got ramen noodles that cost what? $1 for 5, right?
Right.
Or you can go downtown Nashville and pay almost $25 for a bowl of ramen noodles with some eggs and some meat in it and vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Both ramen.
Both ramen noodles. But the expectation is, if I take that friend out with me that I know, man, they struggling right now, and it's the first of the month, and if they got to get a 5-pack of ramen noodles to survive a couple of days to the paycheck hit, I can't take them out and expect them to pay $25 for a bowl of ramen.
Sure can.
They might have the $25. That's not the issue.
But what is that $25 for?
That $25 may mean more to them than it means to me. To me, that $25 may mean $2 or $3 out of my pocket. But to them, that may mean $100.
Exactly. That's all they got right there.
And so our whole value of money is really thrown off.
But it's like you have that innate understanding. Like like you said, you don't come into things with expectations. You know what I'm saying? I usually like to I'm more of a listener. I like to let people lead interactions. So upon meeting somebody new, let's say they do want to have, let's say let's go get food sometime. I'm like, okay. I always say, where at? So my budget may be different from theirs.
You said where?
Where you trying to get food at? Where at? Somebody says we can go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I can do Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's easy. Buffalo Wild Wings easy.
I can do B-dubs. You feel me? Someone's like, no, we can go to Maggiano's. I'm like, no, we cannot. No, we cannot.
That's a special occasion.
Like what I'm saying, we can go to this club. It's a $25 cover. I'm not going to that club.
Shit,
I'm not going to that club.
No, for what?
Someone has told me that before. They're like, it's a club. It's downtown. They're having it was like a Halloween exclusive. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna tell
you this from a DJ point of view. In a way, even as a DJ, I don't even pay that much to get in the club. I don't care if I'm invited. I'm not paying that much to get in the club. And I think some of my friends have problems with me over the years about this. Like, well, the cover charge is just to get. I'm like, no, I don't want to go no more. I'm like, bro, but you got the money, so
man.
If I gotta pay $25 to get in, that means a drink gonna be at least $15 a pop.
Expensive.
I don't look at the $25 I'm spending. I'm looking at it's probably about a $300, $400 night for me.
But that's the thing.
At that one, for those few hours,
you got that wisdom. You don't come with expectations, and you got that ability to think future in the head. If you think ahead, that's what I'm saying. As a young person, people that I associate with, they may not have all those traits yet, and it's so difficult because like when you're doing something like this,
yeah,
you feel me? When you're doing something like this,
it costs money.
It costs money. It costs time. And I, as a person of myself, I've been in school for 5 years, and I've made 2 of these. You know what I'm saying? Also, I have my own apartment now. So while making 2 of these, while continuing to go to school and about to graduate from this school, you have friends that do music, and you want to make them a part of this because they're your friends, and you want to see them do things. But it's just
are they willing to put that same grind and hustle into making music? I won't say grind or the hustle, the sacrifice.
And there's no guarantee that I'm going to make money from this. None. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Everything is like, are they paying you? It's like, look, my bills are paid.
That's a job.
Trust me, I got jobs.
That's a job.
You feel me?
That's when you think about it as a job. Like anytime, even when I do stuff for music, I consider a lot of it a job because I get paid to do it. But then when you have projects like this is something you want to say, all right, 10 years from now when you're in your 30s, you can like, I enjoyed making that project. It really meant something to me. It represented a time or a period I was going through, and the words, the instrumentals, they all meant something, and it's something I'm gonna leave behind. So
you get it.
It becomes priceless. Now, if I'm just making you refrigerator or microwavable music,
I don't give a fuck. But I haven't gotten into that yet. I know it. It's probably an avenue that I could, but
no,
I don't think I could though. It's just that's the duality of it is because
it's something you gotta really want for a lot of people want that part of the music for the wrong reasons.
They want money. They want money, which is cool. And the thing is, it's just like you learn what I've learned from just I watch people, and there's always a deeper meaning to anything you ever watch, even in TV and film. But basketball players' career span is like 7 years. Football players like 4. Yeah. Most rappers make 1 album and they never make that album again. Like that level of success.
And they do everything else in their power to like media-wise and to stay part of relevancy.
But that's what I'm saying. That's when you have to realize like this is a means to an end. This is like this is the thing that I can do what I love, and it may not pay my bills, but it can lead me to people that can lead me to investments. I've met so many creatives. I've met so many smart, intuitive business people. And it's as you continue to make your brand, people are like, that's the person that does music.
It's a foundation.
Yeah. People see you now, they're like, man, you've been doing this for like what, 15, 20 years DJing?
About 10.
10?
10, I say 10 professionally, before then fucking off and playing around.
But still, even it was in you before you started like, but now people are like, that's DJ Rico. It's associated. It's just, that's the person. So if I need somebody to mix for me, That's what he does. It becomes a means to an end because now you don't just DJ, do you?
No. DJing is probably like the least of my worries. I admit, it's more, like you said, it's more investments, and a lot of people understand, like, yeah, the music part is fun, and people are like, do more of this, do more of that. I'm like, no, nigga, I'm making more investments and having more fun with that shit than actually the actual DJing or the mixing of music or any of that shit. And people are like, well, you're doing so good. How come you don't hear so much about it? I'm like, well, because these investments and these other opportunities only occur if my character aligns in a certain way.
And a lot of the times when you have those investments, I don't have any yet, but I know for a fact that when you have them, it allows you to approach this with the pureness. Like you're not like, oh, this album has to make so much more money or else I'm gonna go under. You're like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna make an album because I feel like
I got a perfect metaphor for it. I think more people understand. All right, let's say I'm on BetMGM, and I want to pay my rent, but I need. Look, this is a real situation.
It's real. I've been there.
This is a real situation. And you a couple days from that rent, and you down someone like, man, can I flip this 50 to 200 so I can pay my rent? Or do you just gamble with a few dollars to enjoy the game?
You already had your rent paid.
Yeah. So the it's not even about the amount of money. It's all the perception.
I don't have to live in a large ass mansion. As long as my bills are paid and I can keep doing this, I'm cool.
You can live in a mansion, but most people who live, if you can't fill that mansion with love and people,
it's pointless.
My niece's grandma. I had a conversation with her. I'm glad you said, cause she told me one of the realest things in the world. She basically explained to me why so many people lived in her house, as far as her daughters and the grandbabies and all that. She said, it don't matter. She'll still work. She'll pay for the big house, but she'd rather come home to a house full of love versus nobody in the house. She could kick the kids out. She could have the house to herself.
She's paying for it. You mean she definitely could.
But the whole thing is, want to come home to a house full of love. And it really made sense to me, knowing what person with all this money and all this status wants to come home and there's nobody there to greet them. There's probably some leftover food. There's an episode to watch on rerun or something that they missed, and get back up and go to work the next day.
But then you think about it, nobody wants that because it's the same thing you could be doing when you're poor.
Yeah.
You come home.
You could do that in a 1-bedroom apartment.
You come home.
As much as a 5-bedroom house. The only difference is it takes you a little bit longer to get to the bathroom.
That's it.
That's all. And it's weird because as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that. And like, you can do all this fun. You can do all these fun things. You can be all these places. You can be this person. But if you can't go home to a house full of love, or you can't go somewhere where everybody loves you, to me, it's not successful, no matter how much money you have.
I'm going to say this, though. That is not by destiny. You got to be intentional with who you surround yourself with, because a lot of people surround themselves with people that make them miserable, and they're like, "No, that's just how he is."
Bullshit.
Nah, I'm telling you though.
Yeah.
When you get like peace and love,
Yeah.
it's not something that just occurs.
It doesn't.
Peace and love is something that is.
You can't force that either.
It's not forced, but it can be guided. You know what I'm saying? You tell your friend or family or whoever, "Hey, I don't like when you do this, and if you continue to do this, you're not gonna be around me very long." And they continue to do it, and it hurts. You gotta be like, "Look, our relationship has to change because I'm not at peace." Simple as that. And so then you also learn like the people that are in your life, if they are already making it peaceful for you, those are the people that you need to be around. And sometimes that just happens. It just happens. It just be like, wow, this person is really just, he's nice. We're going to see how this goes.
You're going to see this too. You're going to see a lot of your friends are going to end up going through phases. And instead of beat them down while they're in their phases, I usually let them go through their phases. Because
it's crazy you just said that, but continue.
You let them go through their phases. Like, like, oh, okay, they might catch a phase where they just so amazed by something like, all right, we got to do this, or this is the new thing. I'm like, it's a phase, but you'll be okay.
It's passing, you know, but
You'll think different in 3 months, but it's okay. Like, even,
so my question is, do you tell them that, or do you just let them go?
let them go through the phase.
Don't tell them at all.
It's the same.
Okay.
Oh, I'll say this. It's the same thing, and this is a big questionable thing because we about to get into more different things. It's a big question. You got a friend who has a girlfriend who's cheating on him. So do you tell them, or do you not tell them? But you can't. There is no real clear cut answer on that because you have to judge the relationship. If you know, you look at the relationship, you like, nah, I'm probably not gonna tell her because they both full of shit.
Yeah, they both fucking up.
They both full of shit.
It's just all right. They both
But
fucking
then,
up.
That's one reason not to tell. Then you look at, he actually really loves the shit out of her too much.
Can't tell. He gonna break down. He
Yeah.
gonna break down.
And you consider all these things. I'm like, no, it ain't do. You be like, it wouldn't do no good to tell him anyway.
Or if he's too in love with her, you tell him, he turn on you. Be like, no, she wouldn't, man. Why you lying on her? You want her. I'm like, I don't want. I'm trying to help you.
Or he could just be a dog. You like, man, I really didn't care. He might not even care about her. So you tell him like, yeah, I probably figured that. And then people's relationships are so weird nowadays that it's not traditional no more.
No.
They're like the days of traditional relationships are really pretty much dead.
Yes.
Like I remember. All right, you think of college. All right, I admit this. I'm 35, but in my world, in my head, I came wherever I think, man, maybe I'll go to college, meet a nice girl, get married, start a family, have some kids. Simple stuff. Hell no, I'm still 35. I ain't got none of that.
No, man.
You would think but in our mind, in the way society kind of like raised us up a little bit or put an image on our mind, you would think that's like the American dream or like that's how it's supposed to work.
Can I tell you a duality, bro? So I didn't always go to my alma mater. I went to Belmont for 2 years, and that dream still exists. They still do that. Belmont, for anybody that doesn't know, is like 65-70% white. You feel me? They still do that. There's so many love stories that you hear at universities like that. But for some reason, whenever it's a large congregation of African Americans, it doesn't translate. For some reason, it's just like I don't know if people are like, oh, it's the media influencing us, or it's our trauma. It could be a combination of things. But we are progressing further.
Shit you used to do, staying the same. I'm out of love with you, being around you's uncomfortable. I heard enough of you, time for a change. These niggas hit my phone, they wanna know if we can hang. And nowadays I just don't even reply. Maybe I send a okay.